today's episode of Mr. Wetzel's Classroom, I have a guest lecturer, Miss Steele. Miss Steele is going to talk to you today about how oceans affect the air temperature.
So yesterday in the previous lesson, we talked about warm currents and cold currents, and how one of our investigation questions that we've been going over is how a location's air temperature can change and what are the reasons. So I'm about to do an experiment for you, and all my students should be working on Amplify 2.3, okay? I am not able to be in class today, so make sure that you guys are doing all your work. Okay, so this is the hot. Right now, remember, we always have to take our initial temperature, okay? And so this is in Celsius. So each one should be approximately 19 degrees Celsius. I have my cups labeled hot and cold. I'm going to go ahead and fill our cold up with some water that I'm stilling because I'm in Miss Yo's class. I'm trying to do this. Okay. Now remember, the thermometer should not, if we are only calculating or trying to get the temperature for the air, then the thermometer should not touch the water, right? Okay, put that to the side. Now remember a previous experiment with the heating. I only gave it 1 minute. I think this time we're going to give it 3 minutes, okay? So we can really tell a difference. So this is cold water. If I had ice, I would show you ice, or more like the North or South Pole, how hot it gets or how cold it gets. Okay, so now we're going to run a timer. All right, so 3 minutes has passed. Now we're going to do our final temps, okay? So now it looks like our thermometer reads 15 degrees Celsius for cold. Now remember, guys, if you can see, one of the reasons why I chose these plastic cups is because you can see that the thermometer is not in the water, which means it is actually giving you the temperature of the air, okay? Now, when you go back and you're thinking about cold water currents, I want you to also think about whether or not you have been to the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. What does that feel like, okay? Have you ever stuck your toes into those two different oceans? So have you ever been to California or Florida or on the West Coast or the East Coast? Those currents are different, okay? So now if I would have put ice in here, this would have dropped, right? Just like if I was to be sticking my toes in the North, I don't know, where is that ocean up there? The Atlantic, North Pole, okay, where the polar bears are? Yeah, okay, anyways. Okay, so this one reads, remember our initial was 19 degrees. We are now up to 36 degrees. So within 3 minutes, we went from 19 degrees Celsius to 36 degrees Celsius. And again, it is only the air temperature. So if our temperature is 35 degrees Celsius, what would the beach feel like near a warm ocean current?
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I can tell you I've been to both the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, and when I went to the Atlantic, my kids enjoyed getting in the ocean. It was a great, nice, warm water. Pacific was a whole different story. I didn't see very many people out there because it was quite cold. So that's a good point to make, and I appreciate it. So there you have it in currents.